Today we're talking about carrots, Bugs Bunny's favorite vegetable. What up, Doc? Something that adds an amazing pop of color to any dish. The orange color is amazing, and a personal favorite of mine. Today we're looking at 5 carrot dishes from 5 countries, and in all of these dishes the orange shines brightly.
Hi, my name is Mel. I'm from Brazil. The dish that I bring you is Bolo de Cenoura. It's a Brazilian-style carrot cake that is served with a rich chocolate topping. It consists of a bright yellow fluffy sponge that is topped with a chocolate syrup. This cake is delicious.
If the directions say to wash and then peel, are you guys washing? Because I feel like the peeling does the washing. I don't know if that's like a weird take or like a disgusting human take, but I'm not washing them, I'm just peeling them.
The sweetness and somewhat vegetably sponge is very light, mildly sweet. It contrasts perfectly with the richness of the chocolate topping. Unlike the American style of carrot cake, for the bolo de cenoura, the carrot is the star because most of the flavoring for the sponge and also the coloring of the sponge comes from the carrots. It's a bright yellow, somewhat orangey color.
The layer of sugar. Love it.
Carrots are often eaten in Brazil as salads, as sides. So this cake makes them a funky twist, which makes this recipe really unique and fun to make.
We're twins, me and the carrots. I did it on purpose, to be fair. This is really full. And there's a part of me that is envisioning it exploding everywhere, but I had to get the carrots really smooth, so I had to put it in here, but I'm a little bit anxious because it's really full. It's like up to here. No, it's up to here. This is the max line and we're up here. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel like I had no choice. Oh God, oh my God. Ah. Like technically we're okay, but it definitely came out a little bit. Like look at this. Whoopsies.
I remember I learned how to bake this dish at a culinary class at school. This dish is common first dish you learn how to make, how to bake. It's your introduction to baking.
That color is amazing. Here we go.
Going into the kitchen with your grandma, using vegetables to bake. It's also practical, so it's easy to bake a very laid-back cake that you can make under 30 minutes. You put in everything, all the liquids into the blender and go to town. It's perfect and delicious.
Why won't that one spot stick? I put so much butter on it. You better get covered.
The brigadeiro topping have become a staple for carrot cake in the later years.
I think this cake looks pretty good. I haven't baked a cake in a while, but I have good feelings. The orange color is amazing.
Which I think, again, shows the passage of time. Brigadeiro is a common modern traditional sweet in Brazil. For those of you who don't know, brigadeiro is a chilled chocolate ball covered with chocolate sprinkles.
Oh, I heard it fall out. I heard it fall out. Yes!
However, modern Brazil baking have brought brigadeiro to cake toppings and fillings, as it's easy to bake and it's hard to screw up. And it's delicious, of course. The skills you acquire from preparing it, you take for life, not only for carrot cake. It's also great to bake when you're having the kids over or to bringing the kids to the kitchen as well. As I said, it's a great introduction to baking, inexpensive as well, and also delicious. Trust me, just do it. And you can present it in a bun cake or making in a tray. I recommend everyone to prepare this cake. Thank you.
We're starting with cake because it's my show, and I want to start with cake. This cake looks incredible. Oh my God. That chocolate frosting is so thick. The carrot cake itself tastes so good. It doesn't taste at all like an American style carrot cake where the carrots are still kind of shredded. This is so smooth. The cake turned out so fluffy. As somebody who doesn't really make cakes very often, this one is aces. When I was making the puree, I definitely overfilled it in my NutriBullet. That was a bit of a low moment because it got everywhere. Whoopsies. How am I gonna dry this? But other than that, this was pretty simple for me to make. And the color is exquisite, the taste is exquisite. Oh my God, this chocolate is so thick. So it's like condensed milk and chocolate. The one thing I would say about it is it doesn't really taste like carrots to me. It just tastes like a really good cake. Where the carrot cake that I'm used to here in America, like you can tell those are carrots in there. It really tastes like carrots. The carrot flavor in this one is not strong, but the carrots just made it look so pretty. Even while I was cooking it, I just kept saying, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Oh my God, it's so pretty. That color is amazing. The orange color is amazing. My only gripe is that the chocolate frosting is so thick that it just gets all over my mouth and it's hard to speak. So if you're somebody who's interested in carrots, but not trying to make like a full-on carrot cake, this is the cake for you. But also if you're somebody who likes cakes, this is a great cake. On this channel, I cook a lot of dishes from around the world. And if you're thinking, hey, I'd like to do that too, Masterclass, the sponsor of today's episode, is a great resource. They have tons of topics to choose from, but obviously I lean into their cooking classes. There, they have tons of instructors teaching you a myriad of skills, from cooking international cuisines down to learning how to properly use a knife, which is something I have been practicing. As this is a carrot episode and I'm making mainly vegetarian dishes, you could check out Thomas Keller and Alice Waters, who have amazing vegetarian cooking classes. There are also instructors like Wolfgang Puck, Roy Choi, and even Dominique Ansel teaching you everything that they know. Members of Masterclass get access to their thousands of lessons, which is billed at just $10 a month annually. So if you're somebody who's interested in cooking or literally anything else in this big, beautiful world, I highly recommend Masterclass. You can go to my description, click that link, and it will give you 15% off. So now we're gonna get back to some carrot dishes.
Hey Beryl, my name is Eszter and I'm from Hungary and I live in Budapest. The dish I'm going to talk to you about today is called Vadasmártás. In English you would say hunter stew. This dish sort of looks like baby food, honestly, and you would usually have it with bread dumplings and meat, usually beef or pork.
Okay, that'll do, pig. 5 points to anyone who knows where it's from. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
It's an orange looking sauce, well, stew. It's made up of carrots, parsnip, onion, and bay leaves.
There's something really relaxing to me about the sound of peeling, like not like ASMR relaxing, but it brings me a lot of nostalgia, I feel like, for when my mom was cooking for me as a kid. I wonder if you guys have anything like that, like something that brings you back, a sound or a smell. It's deep.
You would add mustard and caramel to it. What makes it special, sort of, is this Hungarian way of thickening stews, which is adding sour cream and flour in the end of the cooking process. When I was a kid, I used to hate this dish, but as I got older and I became a vegetarian, I had this urge of making this, and I actually started to like the flavor of the carrot.
Even though I just did a mustard episode and I should know better, I'm still surprised about adding the mustard into these vegetables and heating it up. It's different. It smells good though. I need to caramelize sugar. I've never actually made caramel, and the recipe just says like, make caramel, which feels very Great British Bake Off to me because I don't really know what I'm doing. But Leia said to not disturb it, so I'm just gonna leave it, even though I want to disturb it. Pamela, who's a subscriber to this channel, sent me real European bay leaves because she was sick of me talking smack about bay leaves. These definitely smell different than the bay leaves that I've been using, and they're much smaller. So I feel really excited to put these in here and see what the difference is. I think there's gonna be a big one because everyone has told me there's a big difference.
This dish makes carrots shine through because it makes that interesting looking orange color of the stew, and also the carrots sweeten up the stew. It's actually adaptable for vegetarians and vegans as well, which is quite nice because you just don't add the meat in the cooking water.
This is another thing I've never done. I've never mixed flour with sour cream. This is also new. There's a lot of new things for me in this dish.
This dish is quite common in Hungary. As a tourist, you wouldn't really see this on menus of restaurants because it's not the prettiest looking food.
I'm a little bit confused how to make dumplings out of this, but I'm looking at a photo and like the bread is in chunks. I just don't understand how I'm gonna make these round. Oh. Okay, I mean, that kind of did work. That's surprising. It does look like the photo with like the chunks, and it looks like a circle.
I have this memory of this food where me and my twin were sitting and we needed to have this as a dinner. We just had the dumplings mainly, and we were really hating on this stew. But later in life, we learned to like this food. So I really hope you give this a try because it's a very nice tasting dish, and hope it shines through to you and you get an idea of how Hungarian food can taste like. I hope you give it a shot and good luck with cooking. Thank you.
There were a lot of firsts for me in this recipe, but I think it turned out really well. I was trying to have my puree be a little bit chunky, but we ended up with like a smooth baby food consistency. The parsnip is actually really interesting. I'm usually a semi-fan of parsnips. I like it in this. Okay, these dumplings. I am so curious what they're gonna taste like. Come here, dumpling. It's very chewy. You can taste the whole chunks of bread in there, but it's also got a softness to it, which I guess was from that flour mixture. I can't believe they worked. I definitely was being a naysayer. I thought that I was way off track with these, that there was gonna be no way they were gonna hold together. I just don't understand how I'm gonna make these round. I don't know about this. But then I was pleasantly surprised. That kind of did work. That's surprising. Now I'm having faith. The carrot taste is very strong in this. I'm not really tasting the mustard. At least I don't think that I am. At the end of the recipe, Eszter did say you could add more mustard if you wanted, but I wasn't really sure what I was going for, which is a little bit difficult when you're cooking a dish for the first time. So I didn't add any more mustard. I did add more salt though. I want another bite of this dumpling. I like the parsley in it. I think it does actually a lot of labor. Sometimes I don't think parsley is doing that much, and other times I think that it's working really hard. And in this case, it feels like it's working pretty hard. I really like how chewy they are. They're definitely different from a bread dumpling that I've had before, and very different from like a typical dumpling. This definitely feels like a complete meal. I don't think I'm missing anything. I like how it's vegetarian, and I think it's very approachable. Something different, but something easy to make.
Hello everybody, my name is Yonca and I am from the Aegean region of Turkey, which is the west coast of Turkey. The dish that I want to talk about is Havuç Mezesi, or carrot salad with yogurt. It is basically grated carrots covered in garlic yogurt and paprika butter with walnuts.
I typically do not like walnuts, and when I did my Make Me Like Walnuts episode, the Turkish walnut dish, I did not actually really like. But in this recipe, I cook the walnuts in a paprika butter after I've been boiling them. So like, that feels like I might like that. Like paprika butter is really good. Also, is it paprika or paprika? I say paprika. What do you say?
Paprika.
Damn, it's like cauliflower. We're back.
I find this dish very refreshing because of the yogurt, and I really like the deep flavor of the paprika butter and the crunch of the walnuts. I think it all makes the sweet flavors of the carrot shine more. I think there is a misconception that Turkish cuisine is very meat heavy, and although we have great meat dishes that fully deserve their hype, we also have delicious plant-based dishes since no cuisine is one-dimensional, and neither is ours. It is a very old dish from the Ottoman Empire, and I believe not only the royalty but the common people also ate this, since it was and still is common to make your own yogurt at home in Turkey. So it was accessible.
The recipe doesn't say to peel the carrots, but like you could assume that you're supposed to, but personally, I like the skin. Like I also like skin on potatoes. How do you guys feel about vegetable peel? Do you keep it on or do you lose it?
In our family, my aunt is the only one that makes this dish, so it reminds me of our annual summer gatherings to my grandparents' house with all my aunts and uncles.
My arm's tired. My arm's tired.
My aunt would always be sure to grate extra carrots because me and my cousins would sneak pinches of them from the bowl while she was still making the yogurt and the butter. I would recommend this dish because the ingredients are available almost anywhere in the world, and it is a simple, easy dish to make with complex flavors. I know walnuts aren't really your thing, Beryl, but since they are first boiled in this dish, they shouldn't be so bitter, and I think it might be our redemption for you in Turkish walnut foods. Enjoy!
A carrot salad like this is super interesting. I love that it uses yogurt. The walnuts, I don't know. I'm gonna go for a bite with walnuts first. Start strong. Whoa. I couldn't really taste the walnuts on that bite. Hold on. Oh, the walnuts are okay. Like, even though they were cooked in butter, I don't really love them in this. But the garlic yogurt is really good. That one little garlic clove goes a long way. If you're gonna make this, you don't need to overdo it on the garlic because raw garlic is very strong. It really just reminds me of a carrot coleslaw. It's got that creaminess from the yogurt. The carrots, because they were shredded, have a lot of crunchiness, plus they're also raw. And then the flavor of the garlic in there makes the whole thing feel a little bit more elevated than just plain old yogurt and carrots. I think this would be an amazing side dish because that raw carrot crunch factor, the shreddedness of it makes it really special. And I also got to show the new way to use my shredder. I don't know if you all knew that you can put it on its side instead of just up and down. Before TikTok, I used to grate like this, and then TikTok showed me you can grate like this. Leia was saying we're all just conditioned to think you have to go this way, but you can go this way. And it's much easier, especially if you're gonna do something like this. It's definitely summery. It feels like a backyard barbecue type of dish, and I like it.
Hi Beryl, I'm Lulu. I'm half Kuwaiti and half Palestinian, and I live here in Kuwait. The dish I want to talk about today is called Jazar Mahshi, which translates to stuffed carrots in English. It consists of stuffing a carrot with rice and meat and parsley, and then cooking it in a tamarind sauce.
This reminds me of Bugs Bunny. What up, Doc? But this is the biggest carrot. He would be so lucky to have a carrot this size.
I love this dish because it's so delicious and savory and tart. It reminds me of my mom. It's also pretty hard to make, which makes it a rare thing to have. This dish is purely Palestinian. They are the type of people that stuff everything with rice and meat. Potatoes, tomatoes, turnips, zucchinis, pumpkins, grape leaves, and so much more. My mom learned it from my grandmother, and my mother taught it to me, and I'm so happy to teach it to you today. Jazar Mahshi reminds me of my mother and my family in Jordan. It's a nostalgic dish, and it's the type of dish that everybody asks me to bring to whichever occasion.
This is actually a really good tool that I did steal from my sister. So Lexi, if you're watching, sorry, it's mine now. And it's really great for coring vegetables. I usually core zucchini. This will be my first time coring a carrot. So I just did a slight boil because these carrots are big and I feel like they'll be hard to core if they weren't. Wow, there's a lot of steam coming off of this and it's burning my hand. Ah! It's like not that difficult, but it's also difficult because I don't want to crack the outside. I need this to stay closed. Come on, get out, guts. How do I get the guts out?
The carrot is a hero of this dish because it is the dish. It's the vehicle that you use to stuff things with, and it's the thing that packs everything into a compact flavor bomb. I think everyone who loves food should try this dish because it's so special, sweet, sour, and just perfect. Thank you.
I think these look so beautiful, and it's something so surprising to me. I never thought about stuffing a carrot. Wow, it's so soft. Can you see that? Oh! My poor laptop, it's covered in tamarind gravy now. I have to clean it up. Just kidding. Not licking my laptop. That's amazing. The carrot tastes almost candied, so there's a lot of sweetness coming from it. And these were big carrots. I can't get over how big this carrot is. And I think big carrots can be a little bit more bitter than the small ones, but this one is amazing. We cooked it for so long, so that kind of makes sense. Wow, it's so cool. Just keeps going through. I just think this is so amazing looking. Wow. The carrot is so soft. It is just so soft, but it's not squishy soft. It's just tender. That tamarind sauce with the meat and the carrot gives a little bit of sourness to the sweetness and the savoriness of the meat. This is wholly a delicious dish. The only problem with everybody making it at home is that you need that coring tool. And that's not a tool that most people have in their house. I only have it because I stole it from my sister, and my sister got it when she was living in Syria. So I don't know where she got it. I'm just eating. I don't have time to talk. I only have time to eat. It was definitely important to leave a little bit at the tip of the carrot so you weren't stuffing it the whole way because the rice expanded, and so at the end of it, it was totally full. So I'm glad I followed directions. I think overall the flavor of this is totally special and something I've never had before. I've never had a carrot that's stuffed. I've never had a carrot cooked like this, and I've never had it with a tamarind sauce. And all of these things together make for something spectacular.
Hi Beryl, my name is Dev and this is my mom Rajinder, and we're talking about Gajar ka halwa, or in Punjabi we say gajrela.
Gajrela, yeah.
So gajrela, it just translates to carrot halwa. It's a pretty simple translation, gajar meaning carrot, and halwa is a borrowed word from like Persian. Gajar ka halwa, it's a simple dish, really. It's made of
Carrot, milk, sugar, and some pure ghee.
or clarified butter, some people might say.
I have to grate the carrots, and I found this attachment for my food processor. I think that this will work. I've never used it before, but I think it'll work better than using the hand grater because I don't want them to be so tiny. So here we go. Okay, here we go. That one was too thin, so I'm using this other one. Hopefully it'll be thicker. Trying and testing. That's better. That looks better. Okay. That was very exciting and also very efficient. And I think definitely better than my grater. It looks good. Yay!
This dish is popular throughout all of India, both North and South India, where, you know, the cuisines may differ a lot, but it's pretty common amongst all of them. It's a very vibrant looking dish. It's orange from the carrot.
Yeah.
but it's kind of milky cover to it from the milk, so it's kind of like a creamy orange. And you can top it with nuts,
Yeah.
raisins, so then you get that sort of topping on top that sort of makes it look complete. It used to be very common only in
In winter.
winter.
Yeah.
You know, they'd harvest the carrots, it's a late crop. But now that carrots are available throughout the whole year,
yeah.
it's popular throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
My mom likes it a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's had it since she was a kid. Her father, her mother, and a brother would go and they'd get carrots and milk from a nearby village, bring it home. Her mom would spend the whole night shredding the carrots. A lot of carrots. They were a big family. They were
Yeah.
a good few number of them. I think 7 siblings in total.
Yeah.
So they'd be a lot of carrots, a lot of milk, and they'd shred them and cook them together. Her oldest brother would stay up all night stirring it, making sure it didn't burn or anything. So for her, it's a very nostalgic dish. Ultimately, you know, the natural sweetness of the carrot is kind of what shines the most. Carrots are very sweet. A lot of American and sort of European cultures don't make them as sweet. In Indian culture, you know, it is used in savory dishes as well, but this is the most common dish when you think of carrots in India. We hope you enjoy making it, and we hope you enjoy eating it.
I'm gonna say something, and I'm leaving myself open to getting yelled at in the comments, but I don't like Indian desserts. There is one dessert I like called ras malai, but the other one that I do like is Gajar halwa. And this is one that I've only ever really found in the wintertime in India, so I'm pretty excited that I got to have it here. It's not hot. I don't know why I just blew on it. Oh, it's warm. Oh my God. It is so good. It is sweet, but definitely not too sweet. Because I made it at home, you can control the amount of sweetness. You can really taste the cardamom, and I think cardamom is such an amazing flavor. I put the raisins in mine. I love the pop from the raisins with the smooth carrot. This is arguably a great dessert. And there aren't too many carrot desserts. As we saw, we had carrot cake in this episode, but this is like carrots. You're just eating a bowl of carrots. Covered in sugar, obviously, but you're eating a bowl of carrots. Cooking them in the milk means that there's this kind of creamy moisture happening in the carrot dish, which is something that I think is unexpected when you're eating a bowl of carrots. You don't expect them to be creamy. I'm glad that I used my food processor to cut the carrots because I think it gave them a really nice thickness, but I think you could also get away with buying shredded carrots at the grocery store and that would totally work. I think if you grated them by hand on a hand grater, that would also work. It would just be a lot of work. I've seen this dish in a couple of Indian restaurants, but not too many. Because of that, I think people think about Indian desserts as like gulab jamun, which is incredibly sweet. Maybe jalebi, if you've seen that, it's the swirl. In essence, it's deep fried sugar. Maybe kheer, the rice pudding. But this is an Indian dessert that I think is worth the hype. And I got a million emails of everybody recommending I make this one. So the hype is real in India, and the hype should be real in America. I hope you liked this episode all about carrots. All of the recipes are going to be in the description. And until next week, I'm leaving you with cauliflower and mustard, 2 episodes that I think you guys would love. See you next week.